Assignment 2-3, A Change from the Past by Prilla, Speer. Without rain, nothing grows. Embrace the storms in your life. This image and quote really spoke to me about change. The change I'm going to talk to you about today takes place in my workplace, an academic library, and the change that occurred in 2014 based on removing shelving for creating open spaces. The image that you see here is the library in 2014. Notice the shelves on the far right. What led to the change? Collections evolved. Collections shifted from primarily print collections in a library to digital access, online databases, ebooks, library websites, research guides, all kinds of things were in the process of turning over from focusing on print to focusing on digital. The space use changed as a result of the digital access. Students needed a place to sit with their computer and access versus shelves stored with content they may need to pull to use. That was a significant factor. Tools used in making this decision. Librarians observed the student use of the library. We observed how many things were being used in terms of the print, how many students were in the building, which at that time was not very strong in terms of what it could be. Attending professional conferences and professional literature was impactful on keeping us on top of the trends and being in the driver's seat for initiating the change. We collected data. We were able to collect data on how much our print collection was used and how much the current online collection was used, and do cost comparisons and usage comparisons, which pointed out that the print collection use was way down based on the online. And as publishers moved into digital publishing, the print collections use even more reduced because collections weren't being offered by publishers in print. They wanted them accessed online. Our goals and expectations first was staying relevant, being on top of the current trends, and embracing those technology revelations that had revelations that occurred and making them Trevecca's. Maintaining a cost savings, meeting the needs of our students, as I've mentioned before. The functionality, having open space allowed us to be more functional and to change things, to move in a mediascape or to have counter shelving. And preparing for the future. It was very important to be looking ahead as student enrollment increased. We needed to be able to support the student needs. Evaluating our steps, 3 words came to mind: analytical, transparent, and inclusive. They were the hallmarks of the plan, led by our library director, who was very analytical. So she was able to gather the data, present it in a way to stakeholders, to faculty, to administrators, creating that urgency, creating that coalition, bringing that vision for change in. I feel like we really ticked the boxes. We were able to do this somewhat in stages, where we would have images and we'd be able to publish our images to people. We'd have signs in the library saying change is coming. So we were taking care of those short-term wins. It has been very positive for me to look back and say we did meet all of Cotter's 8-step change management model. So how were we successful? Success, you can see images on the right that are so fun to see, student comments that were made as they walked in and saw the changes. These were just on mobile whiteboards, and they had markers that they could write on to make their comments. You could see how positive it was. Very successful. This short promo video that's here will show you some of the changes. The audio is turned down. You can see there is a coffee shop in the library now, because in part, but notice our open spaces in the library. where we didn't have all of that before, such as this image here, uh, shows a wide view of library space. Students are using space for all kinds of reasons now, which has been wonderful. We actually have to create a silent space because there's so much collaborativeness going on. Uh, change was very successful for librarians, for the campus, for the students. If we were to do this differently, we would definitely remove more shelving. You can see on the far right, we have a little bit of shelving there. Currently, that's gone. It's just got moved. Which opens the space more. We would move the location of 1901 and take more risks. If you can see in this image, 1901 is in the center. No, many libraries, I should say most libraries, do not have a coffee shop in the center. It is typically as they enter or off to the side. It has been problematic for us just because noise level in a coffee shop is very different than noise level in a library. I mean, both have noise, but the levels are a little different. And taking the risks back then would have saved us 2 different iterations where we removed shelving. I leave you with this Cotter quote: "Useful change, the process is never employed effectively unless it's driven by high quality leadership, not just excellent management." We had the best leader for the time as our library director who led us through this process well, and we have not looked back from this change. We have built upon it, which has been so strong for us as a library and for Trevecca as a university. Thank you.